finally, we have our final issue of Coda, issue 16. And this issue is probably going to be the easiest for me to review because I just read it. I just got it on Wednesday. So the two stories we have, the first story is Man of Steel, and it is about Spike. I don't want to read about people. Really, all that this story is Spike talking about how he defeated Ravage. And it talks about Spike like becoming part of the government, working with stuff having to do with Decepticons and Cybertronians and aliens and stuff. And that's really all the story is. Like, I don't even really need to give much more of a synopsis than that. This story does not make me like Spike. It doesn't. I'm just going to show you, like, the first page we see with Spike. That really doesn't make me love Spike at all. I don't. We also see him killing Thrust. That doesn't make me like him either. And saying that he killed Ravage, which really doesn't make me like him. I think this whole issue is supposed to make you, like, respect Spike more, but I don't. Reason being, I read this for the Transformers. I don't want to read a story that's just a guy killing Transformers. I don't care if they're Decepticons. I don't care if we're supposed to like him. I don't like Spike. I think he's kind of a butthole. Oh, I mean, the art in this issue, or the art in this story specifically, it's Guido-Guidi. I'm fine with that. I like his art a lot, actually. But I don't really care for the story that much. Mostly because I don't care about Spike. So that's all I'm going to say about that story. I'm just going to ramble more about how I don't really like it. And the final story, the last story in All Hail Megatron Coda, is a Bumblebee story called Hidden. Before I actually talk about the issue, I do want to mention the art is actually done by the same person who did the artwork for the Starscream story on Uneasy Lies the Head, which is Chi. So I have kind of a similar problem with this that I had with the Starscream story, and the fact that it's nice, but it's also kind of distracting, but I felt significantly less distracted in this Bumblebee story. I don't really know why, but it didn't bother me as much. The style just seemed to work better in this story. It also seemed to be, to me anyway, toned down quite a bit. It didn't seem to be quite as crazy painty, but I also don't have the Starscream story in front of me, so I could be remembering wrong. But all that this Bumblebee story is Bumblebee out and about by himself on Earth after the events of All Hail Megatron, and he's hiding basically because all the humans are like, or at least the humans that are around him are like, well, we just need to kill all these robots. We don't care who are the good guys and who are the bad guys. And there's an interesting part where one of the soldiers is like, well, no, I think that the cars are the good guys and the planes are the bad guys. And it gets to this point where he finds these soldiers just blowing up this random car because they're like, well, it's probably a robot. And we see this guy who was the owner of the car saying, you know, I'm in this building with my family. I need that car. I need you guys to leave. And they're like, well, why are you out here? And they're questioning him. And Bumblebee realizes that one of the buildings nearby is breaking and it won't hold and will probably kill some people if it falls down. So he stops hiding and runs out and keeps the building from falling over. But while he does that, these humans just beat the crap out of him. He gets shot at a lot. And one of the guys, the guy who owned the car, notices, oh, I think he's trying to help us, but no one ever really cares about when people say stuff like that. And then Optimus just comes out of nowhere and is like, no, you're not. Don't touch him. Leave our little buddy alone. And then it just goes to Bumblebee kind of being repaired, and Ratchet saying, oh, well, Optimus knew that you were going to be out there at some point, because you had to help someone. And rest now, and that's the end. That's the end of Coda. And that Bumblebee story, it's cute enough. It's fine. Again, the artwork I said is a little bit distracting, but I also really like it. So, yeah, I don't really have any problems with the Bumblebee story. I do think that was kind of a weird story to end with. I think it was very much like just this little kind of insignificant story to be at the end of what's supposed to be like tying everything together and be this really epic thing, and then it was like Bumblebee, I don't know. Overall, I wasn't very impressed. there was a couple stories that I was very happy to have, mostly being the Perceptor story, and the Cup story, even the Sunstreaker story and the Cyclonus story. Those were fine. I really didn't have huge problems with the choice of characters to focus upon, but all of the like weird writing that didn't really sync up with All Hail Megatron I just found really annoying. And the thing is, I said this earlier, overall, it's hard to have stories and issues that are just little bits of a bigger thing. Like, I just don't feel satisfied when I'm done reading these. You need to know the stuff about Sunstreaker, even though I love Sunstreaker, and I'll say I love Sunstreaker a lot. If they're not going to do anything else with him, I didn't need that story. I really didn't need to see that lady and that scientist making out in front of him either. That was weird. I don't like the fact that a lot of these stories are not in conjunction with the rest of the Transformers stuff from IDW. It just doesn't make sense. So yeah, I'm guessing you guys probably didn't expect me to just be like a rambling fool on my newest review, and I'm sorry that this review isn't really that good, and that it's really probably not relevant anymore because most of these came out like a couple months ago. So I apologize, and hopefully my next review will be better. Speaking of which, about the fact that I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, I saw, I think, a page out of the stuff for the new Transformers series, the ongoing series, and I believe the art is the same as the art in the Good Old Ways, or whatever the Ironhide Optimus story was. I don't want that art. I don't like the movie-inspired style. I don't at all. So that'll be interesting to see when that comes out, either later this month or next month. I think it's later this month. So yeah, guys, just let me know what you want me to do next. Leave a comment, whatever. I'm really sorry about the quality of this review, but thanks for watching anyway, and I will see you all later. But I'll just have you guys know that I was looking on TF Wiki while I was doing this, and I had not seen the Burger King Transformer. It's really scary. What? I obviously missed this when Revenge of the Fallen came out. What the heck? Yeah, that kind of derailed my train of thought. It's really weird.